And we are recording, okay?
Okay.
All right. Give me a call if you need anything. My name is Marlon, okay?
Okay.
All right. So remember at that stop sign, go to the right, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so go ahead and let go of your brakes. We're going to roll a little bit. Go back to your gas. Here we go.
No!
Turn right for the downtown tour. Turn left for the Point Loma tour.
That's, sorry. Can I put it here? Yeah. So you get it? Right. I don't see that. What do I do now? Okay. Right, left. Here. Right here is the left? Yeah.
Turn left onto Twig Street.
It's your turn signal.
Turn right onto San Diego Avenue.
That's here.
Continue straight on San Diego Avenue. Coming up on the left at Harney Street is the Whaley House, designated as an official haunted house by the U.S. Department of Commerce. This house was built on a gallows. They offer tours if you're interested, which I highly recommend. My human staff tell me they have had some pretty scary first-hand experiences at that house in the past, including hair pulling, smelling perfume when nobody was round, hearing whispers, and more. So, something spooky is definitely going on.
That's walking distance for us here.
Veer left at the stop sign. Be careful though, cross traffic does not stop.
Forgetting that.
Turn right on Old Town Avenue.
You need to get a picture of us. Okay, the mic come out.
Go straight at the intersection and continue across the freeway. Remember, I'm not allowed on the freeway, so don't be tempted by those bad old on-ramps.
Of course, because you probably got something for you.
Now continue straight at this stop sign. It's a bit tricky, but everyone at this intersection must stop. Follow the road around to the left. This road turns into Hancock Street.
Okay. Dot.
At the stop, continue straight on Hancock Street.
Don't hit the...
Keep going straight for a while on Hancock Street. You're a good driver.
Oh boy, evaluated your driving.
On the left is the San Diego Circus Center. Here, you can learn about the many disciplines, art, and culture of the circus. You can train to be a circus performer in a safe, friendly environment. I wonder if they have a trapeze that can support me.
I like this. I can't see how far we gotta go on this. Probably at that light. This is a one-way street.
Watch for fast-moving traffic merging from the left as we approach the signal ahead, but stay to the right. Continue straight across Washington Street and keep right. Continue straight. Ahead is more traffic merging from the freeway on the left. Hancock Street now becomes Kettner Boulevard. Continue straight on Kettner. Welcome to Go Kart Tours. This tour will take you through the most beautiful parts of San Diego, so get ready for a great time.
Oh, down here, yeah. They tell us to turn here.
Keep going straight.
Is that loud enough? Yeah.
Now if you want a real thrill, pull over just this side of the Harley store in front of the mailbox on the right. Get out for a minute or two and watch the sky over the top of the green building. I think you'll like this. We're under the flight path. You can practically throw a rock and hit the low-flying planes as they come into land straight over your head.
Down a little bit now.
Continue on Kettner when you're ready.
Where did it tell us to pull over? Well, I don't know, 'cause we'd have to get out and back out of the parking spot. Yeah, let's go.
We are now in Little Italy's warehouse area. There are some interesting shops at the end of this neighborhood. Designer shops and event rentals can be found on this street. A few very large antique furniture shops can be found a block up. At one point, railroad tracks ran right alongside Kettner Boulevard, and trains stopped here for many of the warehouses to load and unload their goods. For more information, stop at Little Italy's loading dock. It has the original loading dock from when the train stopped right here.
I can't see where that is. I can't either. Okay. Must be close to the port. Yeah, this is the port.
On the right is the Waterfront Bar and Grill. Holding a liquor license since Prohibition was repealed, the Waterfront is the oldest legal bar in San Diego. Let's keep going on Kettner a few more blocks and move to the left. Turn left here on Beach Street. Turn left here on Beach Street.
No! It says turn left. Yeah, but what the hell is that car in the middle of the street? Yeah. Scared the
Turn
shit
left
out.
again
Scared the
at the
shit
stop
out of me
sign.
too with that car in the street. I didn't hear what the direction was for this now. Straight.
Continue straight on India. Ah, Little Italy. A pizza sounds good even to me. San Diego's Little Italy has been a stable ethnic community since the 1920s. It was once home to over 6,000 Italian families. However, the neighborhood began to decline along with the West Coast tuna industry, as many of these people were fishermen. Additionally, the construction of I-5 took its toll on the neighborhood. However, since the 90s, a revival has spawned new condo developments, dozens of restaurants, retail shops, and galleries. Keep straight on India Street, but merge left. On the right is Felipe's Pizza Grotto, a family-run tradition since 1950.
Yeah. Can you try putting the water bottle by my hip? In between us? Are you okay? It's tight, but I can't see this. We're gonna be wanting to make a turn here somewhere. And I said to keep left. Yeah, well, because we're gonna be wanting to make a turn. I think. I hope we're not going back to this turn. I can't see the. Wow.
Turn left at the light onto Hawthorne Street.
That's better. Are we still in purple? Yeah. We're right here. I know I can't. I'm on the. I'm gonna go straight. Well, this is better. I can see it better. Gotta get to that. Okay. Oh, we're going down by the now.
Stay in the left lane and turn left at the signal onto Harbor Drive. We want to turn into the far right lane after this stoplight.
Or we can cut extra big. This is uncomfortable. It's like because my knee was kind of hitting it, and I'm up against the side this way. I feel like my elbows hitting you in the boobs. No, it's just. It wasn't that. There's just imagine if a big man got in here. Big man. Can you grab me? What do you need? Never mind.
Pull into the side street parking area ahead on the right and drive along there.
Here we go. You got your turn signal on.
Stop at the curb in front of the museum's sales booth to hear more about the oldest active ship in the world, a Soviet submarine and a movie star ship in the Maritime Museum. There are many things to hear about this area, so stick around for a few minutes. If not, pull carefully back out onto the main street and continue straight.
Can we hear here? Does that play?
Maybe I'm not up far enough.
No, you're not. You got to be up further. There, where the arrow is there. Further up, like where that minivan is, maybe.
Next, sitting in the water is the San Diego Maritime Museum. The Maritime Museum includes several ships and exhibits. The white one is an old San Francisco Bay ferry, the Berkeley, which became obsolete once the Oakland Bay Bridge was built. Next to that is a movie star, the HMS Surprise, used in the movie Master and Commander starring Russell Crowe. The ship is a 180-foot replica of an 18th century British frigate. It was originally launched in 1970 before being modified for the movie. Behind the Surprise is a scary-looking Soviet submarine. It used to ply the Pacific, tracking U.S. and NATO warships. Ironic it ends up here among some of the U.S. Navy's ships it probably stalked. The large sailing ship is the Star of India. First sailed from Britain in the 1860s, this is the oldest active ship of any kind in the world. It's also one of the first to be made of iron. The ship spent years transporting emigrants from Britain to the New World. Eventually, she was brought to San Diego and restored. You can tour all the ships here. The museum is open every day. You can park and walk around for a better look, or you can drive forward when you're ready.
You want to park?
Pull carefully back out onto the main street and continue straight.
Let's go. But meaning we can car. We didn't walk down this far.
No, because we parked down there.
Right. But this, I wonder if this comes with a hop off, hop on. You have to pay to park here.
Now I'm supposed to get out back in traffic or down there.
Go, keep going straight. It says we gotta pass the. Here's a favorite bar for you, Seafood Oyster Bar. Probably have to get it. They'll tell us.
Pull carefully out to the main street ahead and continue in this direction.
Right here.
point, you can take a harbor cruise or take the cute little ferry to Coronado. The ferry is only a couple of dollars a person. Unfortunately, they don't let me on it. Keep going straight on Harbor, past the signal at Broadway.
Have us go right.
Turn right ahead where it says public parking and drive onto the pier.
That's interesting. Not really. We could have probably parked here the other day, but that's okay. Just gonna have us go up roads.
Drive straight toward the parking attendant. Unless you want to park, the attendant will not charge you to drive around the pier. When you get to the end of the pier, stop to hear a bit about the Navy here.
I bet you that's constantly parking up there. There's a helicopter up there coming in. Got it? Yeah. Here. I think it's on sealed. If you could flip it around to zip. Whoa. Here, please. And flip it back to seal. You can put it, if that's uncomfortable, you can just lay it on the floor and it won't spill. Well, I got it. That's not too bad there. We could have parked here. It would have been cheaper. Okay, thank you. It would have been cheaper. I paid 40 over there.
look out across the water, you might get a good view of some of the U.S. Navy ships who call San Diego their home port. San Diego is the second largest naval city in the world, behind Norfolk, Virginia. If you're really lucky, you might get a view of one or two aircraft carriers stationed here in San Diego, including the USS Theodore Roosevelt, ship number 71. This is one of the newer aircraft carriers made by the Navy and is powered by 2 nuclear reactors. The Theodore Roosevelt won't need to stop for fuel for 30 years. If I could say that, I could retire. Nicknamed Big Stick, this carrier really has earned her name over the years and led the initial airstrikes against Al Qaeda just a few weeks after the September 11th terrorist attacks. These ships are entire floating cities. You can find barbers, doctors, operating rooms, recreation areas, even a small store known as a commissary. Okay, after you finish soaking up the view, let's continue around the pier and I'll tell you all about the USS Midway.
The USS Midway Museum, parked next to us, was active during 3 wars. For $15, you can tour the aircraft carrier, which includes some cool aircraft. To hear more about the Midway, drive up in front of the ticket office and stop.
Not sure what I got for pictures, what? Okay. I was at Norfolk. And there they got us off the bus. They took it off up there.
Yeah, I want to take a picture though.
They made us get off the bus and go through security. Then you could only go so far on the bus and everything. Yep. They kept us on the bus and it was the way out of
Oh, our friends who left.
you know, they had us way out for pictures. They wouldn't even let us in close. You know what I mean?
The USS Midway is a museum, and the tours are very interesting. The carrier was commissioned in 1945 and decommissioned in '92. It served after World War II, into Korea and Vietnam, and through Desert Storm in 1991. I don't want to bore you with statistics, but the Midway is 1,000 feet long and was powered by 4 steam turbines, which turned 18-foot propellers. Given San Diego's ties with the Navy, the Midway makes an appropriate addition to the waterfront activities here. Now, follow the road next to the Midway and head out of the parking lot and back to Harbor Drive.
We toured a ship there, I think the Missouri. But it was interesting. You know, they wouldn't let us in. They had a route. And then they took mirrors under the bus and everything. And then one of the time we went, one of the guys that we were with was in the service and he thought he could get us on the base. No. Took his wallet and made us do a U-turn and gave him his wallet back and we left.
Turn right at this stop sign onto Harbor.
I don't remember the name of this street that we were supposed to go one way and it goes back the other way.
I don't either, but it will tell us when we get there. In this lane. Okay, your turn signal.
Continue straight on Harbor. On the right are what's left of the tuna fishing boats here in the bay. At one time, San Diego was the tuna fishing capital of the world.
The glare isn't so bad this way. Good idea to find out about this. I saw it and I thought, but I didn't know what these were in the map. We're on here for a while. It'll take us there's a beach there.
I wish I knew what way we would go next.
We're going.
No, I mean if when we have
Across the intersection on the left corner is Kansas City Barbecue, featured in the movie Top Gun. The bar was used in the movie's piano scene, and the restaurant has memorabilia from the film. Continue straight on Harbor.
This beautiful promenade was built through the 90s.
Get over
The hotels, convention center, condos, and parks have taken an industrial area and made it attractive. Merge to the left lane and turn left at the second signal onto First Avenue.
Oh, yay, 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 yay. Second signal. Up here. Okay.
If you look to the right as we cross the train tracks, you'll see the beginning of the Martin Luther King Jr. Promenade. Stretching all the way from Market Street to Petco Park, it's a nice place to relax as you walk and enjoy the sights. Quotes by Mr. King can be found scattered throughout the promenade along with some public art pieces. Continue straight here on First Avenue. On the left is the Children's Park, built in 1995. It has some beautiful fountains and a water feature, where you can sometimes find ducks frolicking in the water. I have also heard the trees make a great place to play hide and seek, which is odd because whenever I play hide and seek at this park, I'm always the first one found.
Stay on this for a while.
The brick building on the right may appear historic. Technically, I guess anything has a history, but really, it's a Ralph's supermarket and is not very old. The large tower on the next corner, past the Ralphs, is part of the downtown.
Continue straight on First Avenue, but begin to merge to the right.
Gonna make a right turn. We're here. So you got 1, 2 blocks. Put your turn signal on to get over. One more lane.
If you look to the left as you cross F Street, the tall building across the park with the thin vertical windows is a federal jail. Again, I'm happy to report I have no experience. Turn right at the signal on E Street. Drive carefully through the Westin Hotel Circle. Continue straight and out the other side of the circle.
If you pull over to the curb for a minute, I will tell you about the Horton Plaza Mall.
I keep going. There's a car coming. I can't see. We're supposed to pull over. Yeah, I know. Okay, tell us. It shows up further.
Horton Plaza Mall was designed by architect John Jorday and has won many awards. With 172 shops, restaurants, and boutiques winding through 6.5 city blocks on 7 levels, you'll have to ask your way around when exploring the mall. The statues ahead near the corner are of Father Horton, who established Newtown in the 1870s, and Ernie Hahn, who built this shopping center as the start of downtown San Diego's redevelopment in the early 80s. Okay, let's continue on the tour. Drive forward and follow the street around to the left.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Thank you. Where's he at? I think it's a left. It's a light different.
Turn right at the signal onto Broadway.
Sorry.
We are going 1 block, then turn right onto 4th. The U.S. Grant Hotel in front of us, built around 1910 by President Grant's son, U.S. Jr., was recently renovated by its current owners, the Sequan Indian tribe. Presidents Wilson, Hoover, Eisenhower, Nixon, and Ford have all stayed here.
Stop. Ah. No.
So here's where, coming up, I think is where we're going to be going the other direction. Because he said something about 5th and then 7th.
Turn right onto 4th Avenue.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. I'm gonna be on here for a while. This takes us into the park.
Continue straight on 4th Avenue. We are now in San Diego's historic gas lamp quarter. On the right is historic Balboa Theater. Built in 1924 for Broadway productions, it could also show the latest in entertainment, movies. Originally, there were waterfalls in the lobby, turned on during intermission to soothe the nerves of fidgety musical patrons.
Got the light.
San Diego was originally established by the Spanish on July 16, 1769, where Old Town is currently located today. It wasn't until 1860 when Alonzo Horton began promoting Newtown as the new home for downtown San Diego. Businesses slowly began the relocation process because of Newtown's close proximity to the water. In the late 1930s, this area became known as the Sailors Entertainment District because of the high amount of adult theaters, massage parlors, and opium dens. It wasn't until the 1970s that the city began its redevelopment project, turning the gas lamp quarter into what it is today. This was a real Navy town, and it still is, but the city has done a lot to make downtown more inviting for all people. Continue straight on 4th Avenue.
A block down and on the right is the Horton Grand Hotel. It was built in 1886, but stood where the Horton Plaza Mall is now. 100 years after it first opened, they moved to this location. And by moved, I mean they had to rebuild it brick by brick. It's a nicely maintained historic hotel.
The historic hotel.
Okay, hang on. I got it. As we pass, I'll try to get up. Got it.
Continue straight on 4th and move to the left. Straight ahead, we get a good view of the San Diego Convention Center, which is recognized as one of the best designed convention centers in the country. It contributes in excess of 1 million hotel room nights a year to the San Diego hotel industry.
Left up here.
Let's make a left on K Street, at the end up here.
Yeah, we're so used to turning it off.
Turn left onto 5th Avenue. If the street is closed, continue straight to 7th Avenue.
Okay, so this is where you said. Got a long
Now we are in the heart of the gas lamp quarter. Continue on Fifth Avenue for several blocks. There are all sorts of unique bars and clubs that can be found here. The nightlife down here is a huge contrast to what you're currently seeing right now. But during the day, you can find all sorts of cool shops, restaurants, boutiques, and cafes. I advise parking and exploring a bit if you want, or we can continue when you're ready.
Oh, this is the detour. That's that summit of the detour we had to take. Keep going straight. That's it.
But no, wait a minute.
No. This is if the detour, the block detour, the blue here. This is where we're at. Keep
Okay,
going.
but I want to make sure we're going to end up going to, we were supposed to turn one way. It's different from his tour to go right through
No.
Balboa.
Keep going where we're going. This is if we had to make the detour. Remember, she said if the street was closed. Okay, the street's open, so we're fine.
The gas lamp is a great area, but you don't suppose there are any actual gas lamps. Well, as a matter of fact, there are 4 gas-lit lamps on each corner at 5th and Market. Can you spot them?
1, 2,
A popular restaurant and lounge, Florent, is on the left. This building used to be San Diego's happening city hall. Construction on the first 2 floors ended in 1874. Then the 3rd and 4th stories were added in 1887. This beautifully restored building is over 120 years old. Restaurants are on the 1st floor, and shopping boutiques are on the 2nd. Live work lofts are on the remaining top 2 floors. Keep going straight. On the right, featuring beautifully detailed neoclassical architecture, is the first Bank of Commerce, built in 1888. One of Wyatt Earp's gambling saloons was originally in here. Osetra the Fish House on the left features wine angels who fly through the air to retrieve wine from the 3-story wine tower. On the right is the Gaslamp Plaza Suites, built in 1913 as San Diego's first skyscraper to be a banking and financial institution. It has a colorful history, being used as the following: jewelry shop and trade floors, office building for doctors, lawyers, The yellow building ahead and to the right is the Broadway Lofts building. Built in 1909 as a bank, it was the tallest building in San Diego. On the right is the House of Blues. This is a great place for live music and Southern-inspired cuisine, celebrating the African-American culture of blues and folk art. The original House of Blues is in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and opened in '92. Blues, yes, but you can also find most kinds of music here.
Oh, that's somebody stepped out in front of me.
I know.
Coming up on the left is the Union Bank building. Completed in 1969 at 27 stories, or 388 feet tall. It was the tallest building in San Diego until 1989.
We're at an hour.
On the right is Associated Barbers College. This is the last remaining barbers college in the county. It's only a few dollars if you feel like risking a rookie's trim.
On the left is the Toussaint Academy. Named after a brilliant slave boy, it is a group home providing education and other services for high school-aged homeless.
See how far we're gonna go on this. Yeah.
As we cross over Interstate 5, our tour is now leaving the Gaslamp District and entering the neighborhood known as Bankers Hill. Continue straight on Fifth Avenue. America's finest city, as we like to call it, has a population of about 1.3 million, the 8th largest in the United States and the 2nd largest in California behind LA. However, most of San Diego is suburbs, and so in some ways it may not feel like such a big city. Merge into the right lane. We are making our way from downtown toward Balboa Park.
Oh, what a stop you did.
We will continue north on Fifth Avenue. We are now in the Tree Streets and the Bankers Hill neighborhood. Bankers Hill was an early upscale neighborhood. Many Victorian mansions remain on the streets just to the left. Some are still residences and some are now offices for dentists, lawyers, and small businesses. Many have been restored to their original glory. Residents are young professionals, empty nesters, and those who enjoy the urban pedestrian lifestyle. But all have one thing in common. They share the noise of landing airplanes directly overhead. Airplane watching is a common pastime. For a better look at this neighborhood, feel free to turn left and explore, but remember to come back to Fifth Avenue and go north to resume your tour. Continue straight at the signal at Laurel.
That's a different tree.
the right is St. Paul's, an Episcopal church designed by the same architect who did the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. Construction started in 1928, but due to the Depression and then the war, it wasn't finished until 1951.
Hello, Beth. Oh my.
The historic building on the right is the Abbey, built in 1910 as a Methodist church. Today, this striking embodiment of Spanish colonial revival architecture boasts a dozen stained glass windows and is topped with a triumphant statue of Gabriel blowing his horn. In 1984, a renovation transformed it into a popular restaurant known as the Abbey. The statue of Gabriel was coated in gleaming gold leaf, except for a little wood refinishing and the replacement of some light fixtures and stained glass.
Coming up on the right is a local favorite, a Frommer's very highly recommended restaurant, Extraordinary Desserts. Trained in Paris, Karen Krasny has created desserts that should come with a Surgeon General's warning label. Okay, you're still on track. Look for Upas Street. We will be turning there in a few blocks.
That sounds familiar.
If you wish to return me, please turn left on Upas Street, then left on First Street. If you want to see Old Town, go straight on 5th and turn left onto University Avenue. If you want to see Balboa Park, turn right on Upas Street.
I'm gonna turn, but I can make a right-hand turn on the street. turn back there.
Gotta get into the park. We're supposed to be there. Yeah, what can we do? Make a right turn and then come back around again. Make another right here. And then Lake Street. I'm sure it's happened before.
Continue straight at the signal at Laurel.
If we want to go into the park, make a right.
But this is where we were before. It just said to go straight. And I think we're going to come back up where we can't turn. And then we're going to go around and we'll turn left where we went straight.
And that's that red route that's take this.
Ahead on the right is St. Paul's, an Episcopal church designed by the same architect who did the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. Construction started in 1928, but due to the Depression and then the war, it wasn't finished until 1951.
The historic building on the right is the Abbey, built in 1910 as a Methodist church. Today, this striking embodiment of Spanish colonial revival architecture boasts a dozen stained glass windows and is topped with a triumphant statue of Gabriel blowing his horn. In 1984,
Coming up on the right is a local favorite, a Frommer's very highly recommended restaurant, Extraordinary Desserts. Trained in Paris, Karen Krasny has created desserts that should come with a Surgeon General's warning label.
We want to be on that path.
Okay, you're still on track. Look for Upas Street. We will be turning there in a few blocks.
We want to go for a right. Yeah.
If you wish to return me, please turn left on Upas Street, then left on First Street. If you want to see Old Town, go straight on 5th and turn left onto University Avenue. If you want to see Balboa Park, turn right on Upas Street.
This seems to go up another.
We are entering beautiful Balboa Park, one of the largest urban parks in the country. In fact, New York City's Central Park is 850 acres, and Balboa Park is 1,200 acres. In 1868, civic leaders set aside the land on a scrub-filled mesa overlooking the new town, the current downtown area, which became known as City Park. The park remained undeveloped for about 20 years. Kate Sessions. Now, Kate Sessions was a cool woman. In 1892, she managed to talk civic leaders into giving her 32 acres of the park for a nursery. In return, she promised to plant 100 trees a year in the park and 300 elsewhere in the city. San Diego wouldn't have so many trees without Kate Sessions. Don't forget, this area is basically desert. Kate made San Diego more beautiful for everyone and became known as the mother of Balboa Park. Many of the original trees planted by Kate still exist today. I love this park, and this is only the beginning. This is a one-way road, so get in the left lane and keep an eye out for El Prado Drive.
Smell the dirt.
Yeah.
To the left, you might be able to see lawn bowling. I wonder, do they make you check out lawn bowling shoes? Turn left at the stop sign onto El Prado. El Prado is Spanish for the meadow.
Car coming. You have to stop.
Okay.
Look at that.
We are now crossing over Cabrillo Bridge, over State Route 163. Dubbed Cabrillo's Folly when proposed, and built in 1915, the bridge turned out to be a beautiful point of access for the park. We're entering Balboa Park, built originally to celebrate the 1915 completion of the Panama Canal. There are dozens of museums and gardens and exhibits. Underneath us is the California 163 freeway. Built in 1964, it's now a recognized scenic highway. But before this stretch of freeway was put in, a man-made lagoon was there for many years before. As we cross under this arch, we find ourselves surrounded by the classical Spanish Renaissance architecture of Balboa Park's Prado. If you want to hear about the park, pull over to the curb for a minute. Most of the park as it appears today was created as a celebration of the opening of the Panama Canal back in 1915. Most of the arts organizations along Balboa Park's famous El Prado pedestrian walkway are housed in Spanish Renaissance architecture, designed with Panama in mind. Balboa Park is packed with options. You can experience San Diego's natural beauty, its wonderful art, and its culture. There are many museums, ranging from arts to sciences, to air and space, to natural history or anthropology. Personally, I like the Automotive Museum further down the hill. The Timken Museum of Art to the left of the Prado, with its collection of old European masters, including Rembrandt, Rubens, and many other greats. Plus, it's free. Also on the left is the San Diego Museum of Man, a cool place to learn about the evolution of man. They also have some cool rotating exhibits as well. There's also performing arts, from plays at the Tony Award-winning Old Globe Theater to concerts in the magnificent Speckles Oregon Pavilion, which is an outdoor amphitheater. The Museum of Photographic Art is always good too. Speaking of the Photo Museum, Zorro Gardens on the left was an adult attraction in 1935. Did I say adult? I did. It was actually a nudist colony. There is the lush landscaping and cool gardens. Don't forget the world-famous San Diego Zoo, which we will drive by soon. Not to mention the unique shopping, restaurant, and casual outdoor dining. Parking can be challenging here, but feel free to take a break and wander around the park. Movies. The films, still regarded by many critics as the best of all time, Citizen Kane, were partially filmed in and around Balboa Park. Some of the buildings were undergoing renovations, and while vacant, the interiors were used to represent Kane's expansive residence. San Diego Zoo was used to represent Kane's private menagerie. If you want to stop and take a break, there's some parking by the Oregon Pavilion. There are also bathrooms found down the pedestrian walkway, ahead and to the right. When you're ready to continue, drive towards the fountain.
All that bumping. Good stretch of the legs.
Turn right at the fountain towards the statue of the warrior on horseback, known as El Cid, dedicated in 1930 by the Hispanic Society of America. El Cid commemorates the Castilian national hero Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, who was a celebrated military leader and nobleman in medieval Spain. On a side note, if you get a chance to visit, you must visit my sisters in Barcelona and Lisbon when visiting Spain.
This is a great way to see what's going on. Without walking, right?
Ahead is the Speckles Oregon Pavilion. John D. Speckles, a sugar and transportation magnate, envisioned the pavilion and its 100,000-pound organ as an inspiration for the human spirit. With over 5,000 pipes, it is an inspiration to organs everywhere. It also has the honor of being the largest outdoor pipe organ in the world. Free concerts are held for the public every Sunday at 2 p.m. If you get a chance, there's also a plaque dedicating the organ not only to the people of San Diego, but the organ is also dedicated to the people of the world. Former presidents, including Theodore Roosevelt and Howard Taft, have given speeches standing on the pavilion stage as well.
On the right are the International Cottages, housed in historic 1935 Exposition cottages. 31 groups promote multicultural goodwill and understanding. Each house is dedicated to a different country. Parking is available on the left if you want to stop for a short walk.
Said you had to go potty.
Yeah. Can't find the seat belts. Now, here comes. Oh, come on. Oh. One leg out. One leg out. could use is a handlebar on the right side. I guess we have to go and turn around and get out of here. We're in the wrong house. We're not. Okay. Listen. What happened here?
We're offline.
Yeah.
Hit something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Which way can I go? It says authorized vehicles only.
One way.
I think I have to go around this way.
Okay. Let's what happened? New sign and go back. Way over here, we gotta get over there. Off. Oh boy, we gotta.
But I think
Yes, because we gotta be over here. There's once you go to your. Where we at? Oh boy, we should have. Warn them in parking lots. Okay, where we at? Reserve parking. We gotta.
only tram.
Tram. Turn. Oh boy.
Well, might be only tram, but I'm gotta get out of here, so
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. To your left. Okay. We back on the right road soon. Then at the stop sign, make a left, it looks like. No, we're back on the road.
On the right used to be the Hall of Champions. This was a museum celebrating sporting achievements made by local San Diegans or people who played for.
Okay.
Take a right up ahead.
Now we make right. We're back on hill. Okay. We're back on hill. Okay. Here.
Make a left turn onto Park Boulevard. Ahead is the San Diego Naval Medical Center, first opened in 1922. This Navy hospital has cared for the wounded of many wars and still performs heroically today.
Stay in the left lane, as the right lane is a bus lane. Check out the water tanks, now museums on the left. The Chicano Federation proposed using these unused water tanks to house the Centro Cultural de la Raza, or Mexican Latino Cultural Center. 30 years later, they are still using these tanks today. The exterior of these water tanks were painted by 5 locally famous Latino artists in the 70s and still vibrant and beautiful today.
On the left is more of the Balboa Park Museum complex, including the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center, housing the world's first IMAX theater. You're still on track. Stay on Park.
On the right is a popular spot for weddings, the Grant Parker Rose Garden. This garden has about 2,500 roses of around 200 varieties. It was inducted into the Great Rosarians of the World Hall of Fame in 2014 and has won several other prestigious awards from Rosarian societies around the world. Also on the right, just past the rose gardens, is a desert garden. The desert garden really comes alive between January and March when the desert plants flower. But no matter the time of year, it's a great walk and I highly recommend walking through it. Just remember, just because a cactus looks soft and fuzzy doesn't mean it is. Sometimes cartoons really are based in fact.
It's gonna send us. What's it gonna do?
Continue straight on Park Boulevard. The canyon to the right is Florida Canyon. The canyon includes about 150 acres of untouched natural landscape. In other words, if San Diego had remained undeveloped, a lot of it would look like this. We are moving from the museum complex in the park and driving toward the world-famous San Diego Zoo. Begin to merge to the left. Turn left onto Zoo Drive at the signal. Follow Zoo Drive around to the left.
What's the Marriott?
Continue straight, but slow down a bit. Note that there are spaces along this road to the left for motorcycle parking, which you can park in if you want to stop.
What has 14,000 legs and 4,000 heads? Give up? The world-famous San Diego Zoo. Home to 4,000 rare and endangered animals, the San Diego Zoo is a world-famous conservation organization where you can see exotic animals and habitats simulating their natural environments. You'll see rare giant pandas, cuddly koalas, not so cuddly reptiles, and many other interesting species here. During the 1915 Expo, there was a slew of exotic animal exhibitions that were abandoned after the end of the Expo. These animals were the first residents of the San Diego Zoo, founded on October 2nd, 1916. The tract of land in Balboa Park the zoo is on today was set aside.
At the stop sign, veer to the right past the zoo entrance. Go slow and watch for people and cars. We are going to exit the parking lot ahead on the right and then make a quick left turn.
brought munchies. I wonder if you can go around them safely.
No, I think I'm too close, and I can't back out.
You can't. Very close.
I thought he was put the flasher on to go out the park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are exiting the parking lot here and going left on Zoo Place.
We're turning left onto Park Boulevard at the light. See that carousel on your right? It celebrated its 100th birthday in 2010. It still has the original carved wooden animals and still offers riders the brass ring. Also to the right is the very hidden Balboa Park miniature railroad. For just a few dollars, you can take a quick ride on a train that's almost smaller than I am.
Out to the right, in the northeast part of this canyon, is a sports complex, including swimming, archery, bocce ball, and one of only 4 velodromes in California. A velodrome? Oh, it is to bicycles what Daytona Raceway is to cars. A steeply banked racing oval. Continue straight at the signal. Continue straight on Park past the signals. We are now leaving the park. Stay on Park. We're heading into San Diego's Hillcrest neighborhood.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Hillcrest has many weekly and monthly events, from the weekly farmers market, where you can buy locally grown produce, to the monthly classic